Hello and welcome to episode number 23. Oh, why did I scratch here? Hello and welcome to episode number 23 of the Fullstack Network. In this episode, we did two things. One, we worked with one of our users, Kevin, who asked us to review and refactor his Python script that will download random images from Reddit. Two, we worked with one of our users again, Acidic Mushrooms, and what he asked us to do is to just code review his JS library. It was a great episode and we had a lot of fun. Here it is for you to watch. Hello and welcome to the Fullstack Network, episode number 23. Well, it's been a while. When we started it, it seems like we're gonna do one or two episodes and then it's gonna be over. But now we're at episode 23 and developing a following and people like it. Today we are going to be doing three-way programming, so to speak. AKA mob programming. So today I have two people with me. As always, Stevens. Welcome, Stevens.
Yay! Crowd favorite.
And we also right, the crowd favorite. And we have Kevin. Welcome, Kevin.
How you doing?
Welcome, Kevin.
So Kevin is a viewer of the stream, and he asked to be on the stream and for us to work on one of his Python scripts together. And I agreed. So, Kevin, you want to introduce yourself for a second?
There's nothing really to say. I am a new programmer. I started with Lua, then I moved over to Java. Didn't have too much luck over there, and now I'm over here on Python, trying to learn as much as I can.
So, when did you start? When did you start to kind of learn to code, learn to program?
I first started playing this game called Gary's Mod when it first came out, and in that game you were able to create your own custom game modes using this language called Lua, and I was very fascinated. I thought I could write my own game mode, and I did. I made a laser tag game mode, got really popular for a bit, and from there I moved over to Java, stayed there for a bit. I wrote my keyboard. The keyboard I'm using right now is a G910 Logitech. I wrote my own custom LED scripts. You can have your own LED patterns on your keyboard. G910.
Yeah.
You can have your own custom LED stuff, and I wrote an array. That's probably my most complicated project to date. That's
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
And now I'm here on Python. Cool. I created a.
This is, you know what?
I have it on my GitHub.
This is how should I say it? This is like hacker stuff, you know what I mean? Seriously,
they have an SDK for it.
No, that's not what I mean. I don't mean hacker in a way of like the bad hacker in a way that you penetrate things that you shouldn't. I mean hacker in a way that you design things for yourself and use programming to make your life easier on certain tasks and certain things, you know what I mean? I think a programmer and a hacker are two different things. Most people are not hackers, so a hacker is actually a compliment. It's not a bad thing, and I like it. So good job so far.
The reason I stopped developing that is my old hard drive had a fatal error. I lost all the data on it, and the SDK file if you go to the website and you look up the G910 SDK.
Okay.
It's outdated, and I emailed the developers, and they never ever sent me that updated SDK again. So to this day, I'd like to finish that project, but I never will.
Oh, that's cool though.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's like you need to you have the SDK and you can that's cool. That's like my keyboard has a programming interface as well. Which is pretty nice. But there are no LEDs here, but you can have like all sorts of combos and different layers, what they call basically. And what you see here is like when I'll tilt my keyboard, you will see it maybe better. But there is like this mode where this little LED light comes on. Well, you don't actually see it, but like the camera doesn't show it. But what happens is that you can program those in order to make more tiers or layers, as they call it, for the keyboard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you can actually make your keyboard do different things on different tiers. So you can have like a video editing tier, and you can have like a text editor tier, and so on and so forth. So it's really really nice. And it's not an SDK, so to speak, but it's a programming kind of.
It works.
Yeah. Well, now my keyboard doesn't work, but we'll see. Okay. All right. So, let's talk.
I'm working on
High
Python
level.
script.
What is our plan for today? What do you want to get out of today? And let's bring up the Python script. So let's bring that up here on the screen. So let me grab that. There it is. All right. So can you walk us through what this is doing, and what's your plan? What do you want to do? What do you want to achieve?
Yeah.
Yep.
So basically, what I'm doing over here, it's nothing business-wise or personal gain. Well, personal gain as in knowledge.
I
I'm
told you,
doing
man.
this project.
Hacker.
Strictly for me learning Python and getting better at it, and because I wanted a lot of wallpapers on my computer. I like wallpapers. So obviously the import statement's at the top. This middle statement right here, the praw.reddit that's logging into the API.
Yeah.
Into the Reddit API. The define ID gen right here on line 23. That's
I'm
that's
not
created.
so sorry. Let me take a step back here. I don't want to overview on what this does. So to speak, like line by line. Give me a high level of what the script is doing. Is it like downloading?
In general?
Yeah.
In general, the script just goes to reddit.com. It goes to a subreddit. Specifically, right now it's bound to pics. It picks a random submission from that subreddit, and it downloads the URL. And the URL, depending on whether it's a JPG format, PNG, or anything else.
Okay, that's awesome. All right. So this looks very nice, and I see. I actually, when I reviewed it, I saw some like imager.
That's all. Yeah, I'm also using the Imager API. Since a lot of the Reddit posts that are pictures, they use Imager.
Yeah.
It's very useful.
All right. So why would you need an API client to Imager? Isn't it just public, or for the high quality things you need the API?
I need the API because a lot of the links that are provided have these special codes on them. Let me see if I could find one. Right after the gallery, after the URL that says imager.com, it has a code
Yeah.
I keep going with the code, and at the time I didn't know how to extract, because the only way you can download with Python is if the URL has the extension of .jpg or .png, and I didn't know how to do that at the time. How to change it to the .jpg.
You mean when you
format.
go to imager.com and you have this?
You see the little code? Yeah, the PNV one. All you have to do is provide the API with that, and it will download the image automatically for you.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Certain path.
Okay, got it. And what if it's like this? If it's like multiple images, will it download all of them?
No, I have it set to ignore gallery images and album images.
Okay.
I have it set to ignore those. I don't know. At the moment, I don't know how to get just one specific image, and I wouldn't want to get one specific image. I'd want to get all of them, but I don't know how to do that yet.
So you run this. Basically, you run Python like ready.py, and then it runs and it loops. So it loops 10 seconds?
Yeah, it's waiting. Yeah, I at first it's supposed to be set to 30 seconds because the API the API can only take so many requests before it starts to say no, 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 no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh, that's why I have it set to wait 30 seconds.
Okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, so what do you want to do today? Um,
Oh, since I'm basically finished writing like the most of the code, I want to clean it up, you know. I want to make everything a little bit faster, optimize. I'm basically on the optimization um section of this project. For example, like if you go to line 100, you see that little statement right
line
there.
100.
That's very long. I want to see if I could shorten that down a little bit. I don't know how to do that yet.
Okay.
They're saying like if Reddit isn't in the URL and not REDD in the URL and not Imager in the URL and JPG in the URL. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to shorten all that stuff down. I could probably put Reddit, Red, and Imager in an array, and then do that.
Well, you can also use an regular expression.
Show me.
Yeah, you can also use a regular expression to validate all of this in the URL, which is a string. So you can definitely do that. All right, so I think the best thing to do is really to kind of take this, just put it like on the left side or something. And then, do you have a requirements txt here? No.
No, I don't. This is all personal. I wasn't. It wasn't intended to be shared. The only requirement that I had for that, for running that, is just the OBOT. That's the account code, Snopes, URI,
No, but you
secret
need also
ID.
PyImager and
That's pretty
PyImager,
much it. Just
PRA, and
Imager
OBOT.
and PRAW.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are all. It's pretty basically all you need.
Okay, so let's.
Also, you also have to generate your own secret and all of that stuff, and it takes a while to do that.
Oh, you mean they need to approve you and stuff like that?
No, you have to generate all that stuff before you can log in. The new Reddit API requires this thing called OAuth 2.
Yeah. I'm aware of that. That's cool. Oh, and Imager accepts the same thing.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, because they have a Reddit authentication.
Oh no, not the same, ID and secret. They're different ones. You see, it says client ID and then it says app ID.
So this is OBOT client ID and OBOT client secret.
Yeah, all the strings are on the same file, but they're different strings.
Oh, app ID, app secret, and app. Oh, got it. So, what is OBOT?
OBOT, that's just the file, the Python file where I store
Oh,
the
okay. So this is a file that you just like
Yeah.
store those strings in it.
Yeah, I just didn't want to when I uploaded it to Reddit. To Reddit, to GitHub, anybody to see.
Okay, got it. Okay, so this is the first thing I would change. For me, almost any code I write will end up being on GitHub, and will end up being used in one way or another, but by more than one person. So I develop kind of a habit to, if you have settings, then there is a file you need to read up from that file, and so on and so forth. So I think definitely we should start there. And what I would do is I would actually say that these should come from environment variables. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just pass those environment variables and just use them there. So let's go ahead and just get started. But first of all, we have a few people on Twitch. So I never know how to read the nicknames, so I do them horribly wrong. So I'm sorry if I'm insulting anybody. So Faithful Follower says hello Faithful Follower, and hello to all the people on Twitch and on Live EDU. Like I said, today we'll be doing quite a bit of Python, And well, now the question comes to mind, Kevin, and the question is to you and also basically Stevens. When you do a project like this, what is your testing loop? Um, so how do you test that something is working? So let's say this is line 50. How do you test that like line 51 is working? Do you just execute the script over and over and over again, or like what's your feedback loop? How do you verify that your thing is
Uh,
working?
one second, Avi. Is there any way you can zoom in on your browser? Like, I don't know, Kevin, can you see clearly what?
Yeah, I have my third monitor on full screen. I can see it clearly.
Yeah, because I'm on on a laptop right now, so I'm actually
There
yeah.
you go.
So this is much better. Yeah, that's much better for me.
Awesome.
Thanks. Thanks.
So what's your kind of feedback loop? Do you just like, I don't know, you have an x.py and then you just run python x.py. Oh, this is not working, and then you go and fix it, and then again python x.py, and then oh the next thing is not working, and then like is this your feedback loop?
The error that it pops up usually tells you what line is
Yeah,
giving
yeah,
the
no, but
error.
what I'm saying is not about the line. I'm saying because this has no tests and it's only one file, then I'm wondering what's kind of your feedback loop into just running it and making sure that everything is working. Just trial and error. You basically run this file until you get the result you want.
Uh, Basically, I think that's basically what I do. Nothing intricate, to be honest.
Okay, so let's go ahead. And as always, let's create an open source. But I think first we owe some people something from yesterday, right, Stevens?
Hmm. Oh, you mean the push to GitHub?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, remember doing that.
What did we call it yesterday?
No test something.
Wait, let's create it in the full stack network though.
Okay.
Node, no. It was sample something.
Um,
Sample.node.js API, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, public, and this is going to be a JavaScript. Oh, actually, we don't need a git ignore. And as always, license is MIT. Okay, so let's copy this and do git remote add origin and git fetch origin, git rebase. And rebase off of master, pick this and git push origin master dash fu. And this is not really fu what you would expect. It's dash f and slash upstream. So, you know. All right, so this is cool. So now we have the project here. We have the migrations. We have the SRC. So Stevens, this is ready for you to blog for tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I'll post the
Hang on.
link here. All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and get started here. And let's close this up and create -p reddit dot wallpaper. And let's put this as, I don't know, sample or first version .py and paste it here. Okay? Awesome. So
You can use my secret,
okay, so post your
just so you don't have to. It's in the Skype. Don't
great.
worry about it being shown.
No, I'm not gonna show it on the stream, man. I've been doing this
It's
for.
okay. I made a bunch. I can just make a new one.
No, don't worry about it. I'll never. I won't show it on the screen. I've been doing it for a couple of minutes, you know. um. Okay, so we have this, and we have this Reddit and this. Cool. Right. Awesome. So, first thing first,
what I would do here, um, and again, what I'm doing right now, just so we're in sync, is I'm taking this as the left side as an example, which is going to be your code, and then the right side would be this is how I would be starting a Python project from scratch, but I'm using your code as an inspiration. Okay?
All right.
Awesome. So let's go ahead and search this. So let's go here and say, oh, sorry, not here. So Python require. Yeah,
Kevin,
go.
Kevin, can I ask you a quick question?
Go ahead.
So what I think I understood, like, on the high level what the product does. Only one question: do you select a random subreddit, or like is there any targeting logic to like?
Yeah, there's a target subreddit. It's oh my god, I forgot to put it up there. It's if you look for it, it's the subreddit is pics.
Yeah, I saw it.
It's a specific subreddit.
Oh, so that is a subreddit you pick, and then the logic basically is supposed to. I guess I'm just trying to understand. So it's supposed to grab like a random image from that subreddit.
It picks a random post from the subreddit, and from the post it grabs the URL of that post, and it turns it into a string, and then that string is what I reference from. I break down that string. If the string has the word imgur in it, then process that string.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, Avi.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this is what I would do in order to start this project. Okay. So first things first is I would make a virtual env with Python 3 because we're not savages anymore, and call it Reddit wallpaper. And this will, install Python 3 and make a virtual env. Okay. And then what I would do is I would I would figure out what I need to install. And I already need to install, I already know what I need to install. So let's cat your file. Where is it? First version and head dash n, I don't know, 10. Okay. So pip install praw and pip install pyimager and pip install what else do we need?
That should be it. It was just imgur and praw.
And
the OBOT file.
OBOT is your file. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So now pip freeze. Let's see what we have here. So cool. And pip freeze. And this is requirements.txt.
Is pip freeze something like gem file lock, something like that?
No, pip freeze is like gem list.
So it's like a gem file.
Yeah.
Oh, gem list. Okay, yeah. I see.
Okay, so we have this now. praw request and everything is here in requirements.txt. Okay.
Virtual env is something you install.
Virtual env is like rbenv.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it's a RB, but it's for Python specifically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now that we have the requirements installed, and we have the project running, well, not running, but like installed with dependencies. The next thing we're going to do is establish what kind of a project is this. And this is going to be used from the command line, right?
Yeah.
Okay, since this is going to be used from the command line, what I like to do is I like to use click. Do you know click?
No, never heard of that.
Okay, so Python click. Click is a framework that basically generates commands for the command line. Okay, so you'll have, like this hello py and count 3, but you can also generate like command line interfaces with commands and options of like get, this count and get, only, something. Right? So let's install that. All right, so let's install that. So pip install click. Whoops. And let's freeze dependencies again. Okay, so now we have click. So what I would do is I would generate a file called main.py, and here I would import click. And just like, for the sample sake, I'm gonna do click dot command, and the hello Matt. Matt is on Twitch saying hello. Hello Matt, how are you, man?
So Matt,
Are you still struggling with MVC? Okay, so let's do that. And one of our commands will be hello. And we don't really need any arguments. So, well, I'm gonna defer this to you. Do we need any arguments? Is something here?
I prefer the user to be able to pick the subreddit and how many times or for how long the program will be running for.
Awesome. Well, that's a great idea. Okay, so this one is here. So it's going to be click dot option, and this is what? This is how long will it be running for, or how long will it be sleeping for?
Let's do sleeping.
Okay, so let's do sleep.
But I mean, now that I think about it, no, you wouldn't want the user to pick that because it would always be solid. The amount of API requests is always the same, so
Well,
you don't want it to go.
but this goes back to like a philosophy of, do you limit the user in the program, or do you allow the user to shoot himself in the foot, right? And this is your program, so you decide. But we can do default here, and we can also do a range. So you can also say click dot option sleep, and default is 30, but it only between 30 and 60, or between, like, it's the minimum is 30. You know what I mean? And they have it here. So let's see option. Okay, so option range options. Do you see here?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So you can have this, and then again, like here it's sleep, and click dot int range between like 30 and 120, right? And you can still have a default. So help is going to be how long should we sleep for? And we can still have a default for 30. Okay. And then here we can have a subreddit, and here we can say help, and where should we download images from, and we can also have a default here as always, which is going to be pics.
why would we want to sleep again? Is it because we're like looping through link by link?
Through. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Okay, and then here this is going to be start download, and then you're gonna have sleep and subreddit.
I'm just gonna watch you do this.
Sorry?
I'm gonna watch you do this. I was writing it at first, but I'm going too slow.
This is pretty common, don't worry about it. Okay, and then here, and then this one here.
What does that do?
This is just the default. It says if I didn't tell you what to run, then run start download as the default. We by no means have to do it, but for right now, as simple as this script is, we need this. In real life, I don't have these, but for now, we can have them.
For sake's purpose.
Yeah. So now, if you go here, you can say Python main.py here. str is no object write. What? I didn't write anything. Click.echo sleep and subreddit default 30. Start download. Oh, yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, this should be fine. So PJCS. Hi, do you provide feedback for viewers? I'm not really sure what this question is, but I think just me answering
He wants
your.
to ask a question.
Yeah, you can feel free to ask questions, and yeah, we provide feedback for viewers. Okay, so let's see what we have here. So Python main.py, and let's see what we have here. So dash help, and then let's do sleep for 30, and subreddit
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
for pics. PJCS, thank you for the follow. You rule, man. You rule.
You don't have the OBot. Oh, never mind.
Well, I don't need the OBot.
Oh, it was giving you another error. Oops.
No. This is just what I wrote here. Nothing on. Nothing from your code. So let's see what we have here. So utils core main.py line 10. So let's see what we have here. Line 10. So this is the start download. What? Start download. Click.command. What am I missing? Click.command. Type clamp true. Oh, okay. Got it. My God. This is dot format. So format. So now here and here. So sleep and subreddit. My God, sometimes I'm so stupid. Okay. Awesome. So now you see 30 and pics, and I can do here like 300, and it will tell me invalid for sleep. 300 is not valid between range and 30 and 120.
All right, now.
All right.
Connecting that to the.
So this is pretty awesome, as you can see, 120 and pics, and you can also do 120 and I don't know, nature, and as you can see, you get that. All right. So even before we start, you can already see how this program is friendlier to the end user than what it was previously.
All right.
All right.
Now connecting those two together.
Yeah. So connecting together, we still have quite a bit of work. The first thing would be to have these. So what we need is 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4 parameters. So we need app ID, app secret, and we need the client ID and client secret. Okay.
Hey,
yeah.
can I ask a question? I mean, this is a really kind of dumb question since I don't really do Python. But like in Python, in the function here, when you define it, how does it read the end? Since there's no end here, like
Python is tab delimited.
So it uses the tab to tell this is end of the function.
Yeah, it's tab sensitive. So like you see here, if condition, and then here you have this condition, and then you have an else here, like so, and then another condition. So there is no end.
So how does it know when the function is already ended? Like this is the end of the function.
Again, everything under one tab under this function is belongs to this function. You know what I'm saying? So everything here in that like yellow line belongs to this function.
So if you're to start another function, you just need to start from the beginning of the line. Then it knows that that's the beginning of another function.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Awesome. One more thing that I want to add here is, oh my god, what did I want? I wanted, so let's see here, globality, so code, shit, sorry, so op scripts, talks ini. Okay, test and yes. So here and here.
So when you run the Python script, it'll automatically download those libraries.
No, you need to install them.
So what's the point of using the requirement.txt? Are those just for the user to know?
Well,
which...
you're gonna you when you do so you do pip install -r requirements.txt, and this will install everything.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So
Okay.
this is why it's useful.
All right.
So PJCS on Twitch, just to answer. So first, as you can see, we provide feedback for users, and there's a Discord, and someone shared the link to the Discord. Feel free to join in the Discord, and like I always say, the Discord is alive and well even when the stream is offline. So feel free to come visit us there.
Sure.
Okay, so let's.
Is your dog humping a pillow?
No, she's like trying to get some sleep, so she's trying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you just say it's a girl, and I'm like, I'll shut up.
No, that's fine. She's just looking at me here. Look at that. Yeah.
Cutie pie.
Look. She can see you. She's just trying to find a comfortable position. Yeah, that's it. She found it.
She's so cute.
All right.
How old is she?
She is 12.
Oh.
Okay. This is not my bed, by the way. This is my home office, and this is the guests. Well, when we have guests, this becomes the guest bedroom. So this is not where I sleep. This is my home office. Okay, so now we have start download, and here, and what we need now is we need to get clients, right? One of our clients is the PRAW, and one of our clients is the Imager client, right?
Yeah.
So let's go to PRAW Python here, and let's see what happens if we don't provide like a secret and like a client ID. What happens? So quick start. Let's see. Reddit read only. So Reddit. So I wonder what will happen if
Actually, you probably might be able to get away with it because the usual reason you use the client ID in secret is to use an account to post or make a bot. But I never really had a reason not to use it, so I just left it there. Let me try it right now, actually.
Oh, we can try it here. So let's.
Yeah, you can actually try it right now.
So let's go that. And what I would do is, okay, so let's do this. So Python here, and let's do import or from praw import Reddit, and then Reddit equals to Reddit, like so. And required configuration client ID. So let's do this as a client ID. And then it says what missing? Required configuration user agent. So let's do here user agent. And so it'll tell us the client secret. So no. So client secret.
Oh, you can?
Well, But let's see
Well, I'll
if
tell
it's
you what, it did. It ran for me without anything.
so Reddit is on read-only mode. That's probably the only thing that happens.
No. It's working for me. Okay, so I go over here, pick a subreddit, picks. Yep, works for me. Oh dang, I uploaded their code wrong way. Hold up.
Okay, so Imager. So Imager is different. It accepts a client ID and a client secret as strings. Um, okay, so let's go here and say from client. Oh, sorry, import. Shit, I never remember how to do it with Python. What did I do before? Here. This is what happens when you write so many languages. Okay, so this is this. So here, so from client import Reddit, and then we're gonna make a directory clients, and then we're gonna have clients reddit.py here, and then here we're gonna have this. Right, from clients import Reddit, and then this is going to be this and Reddit here, and cool.
Is this the way to do OOP in Python? Like
What do you
you're
mean? What's
doing a
different from here than from what you would do like in any other language? This is
no,
just
like in
syntax.
Python, right? So here you're actually constructing a class. That's what I'm asking. It looks like OOP to me.
Yeah, it's just like class.
So it is object oriented.
Yeah. Okay, so this is self.reddit equals this. And here, what I would do is I would run the app ID app secret, and that's it. So here I would pass those as app ID and app secret here, right? Are you with me?
Do you always initialize with itself? Like, is that even necessary, or is
This is
just
how you do like self methods in Python. So
Oh,
if this is a like method 1, then self is the first argument. This means this is an instance method.
so this is like a class method or instance
Method.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So now we have a self.reddit, which accepts an app ID and an app secret. So now here, what I would do is use os.environ python. So os.environ here. Where is it? os.environ mapping object representing string. For example, environ home is the path name to your home directory, and we probably have get env. And it's equivalent to get env ohm in C. We probably have a get env. Os.get env var name value, return the value of environment variable var name if it exists, or value if it doesn't. Value defaults to none. All right, awesome. So what we can do here is we can say Reddit client ID equals to get env, and here we're gonna from os import get env, which is gonna be Reddit client ID. And if we don't edit, then we're gonna have an empty string. And now, so this is not client but app, right? And then here, this is going to be, oh, it's still app, but now it's secret. Okay. And then, so from clients import Reddit, and then, wait, this is wrong. So from clients import Reddit, this is gonna import the file, but then I have a reddit.reddit. Okay. So Reddit equals reddit.reddit, and then Reddit app ID and Reddit app secret.
Does this initialize an instance of the Reddit class?
Yeah, this is a new instance of that class.
So okay, so in Python you don't need to call like new. You just passing
the
argument and it's like
yeah,
new.
similar. Yeah. Okay, so now let's go back to your code. And what do we do with this R?
That's the P raw.
Yeah, I know this is a Pira, but where are we using it?
Line. Yeah, sure. Line number 37.
No. So r.subreddit sub.random. This one, submissions.
Yes.
Okay. So let's go back here to this Pira. So random. Where is this random? Let's see. So ready.front or ready subreddit, and then random here. So returns a random submission. And what is submission? How does a submission look like? So submission, this is the object. So what do we have here in submission? How does the object look like? So we have a Reddit, we have an ID, and we have a URL. We have comments. So here you're just getting the URL.
Yeah. We're getting a random subreddit. Submission. Oh yeah, sorry. That's we're extracting the URL out of the submission. So submission.url.
Yeah, I see it. Submission, and then you have an ID, a URL, and some data.
No, all that is left blank except for the URL. Only URL is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you only work with the URL, right?
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm working with.
Question here, like, so Kevin, do you know, like, is there any way you can grab all the URL as a list and then iterate through that list, or you have to like you can only grab one URL per call?
You can grab all the URLs at once. By doing there should be a method if you go back to that API page. There should be a method to get all the submissions.
But this gives us one, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
You wouldn't
here,
want to get all the time because with subreddit like Pix has millions of submissions.
yeah.
I see.
So get this will have a get random submission, right? Here. And then this will return self.reddit .subreddit. Oh, and we actually need to pass in the subreddit here.
That underscore, did you mean to put that there?
Yeah. So that's self.subreddit equals to subreddit here. And then here, this will be self.subreddit. Okay? So then here, what we can have, so from this import Reddit, and then submission is get, so Reddit dot get random submission and the subreddit here. And what we can do is we can echo this. Okay?
Cool.
Awesome.
Why do you name your method with an underscore? Is that like a
It's not a
hack?
method. It's a private private property of that class. Okay, so
Oh,
now
so-
Python main dot then main dot py and dash dash sleep. Let's do 30 and dash dash subreddit. Let's do pics. Python can open file main dot py. Oh, I'm not in the right directory. Sorry. CD open source. And what did we call it? CD Reddit wallpaper. Okay. Now this looks good. No module name clicked. Yeah, because I am not using work on. What did I call this? Reddit wallpaper. Okay, so work on Reddit wallpaper. And then again, reference before assignment. Okay, so Reddit equals Reddit.Reddit. Got it. So from clients import Reddit. So then let's have, just for a second, this as R because something seems off. One positional argument subreddit, so this should be here and not here. Unexpected keyword argument client ID. Let's see here. Client ID is app ID. So this is this should be a string. So this is coming from the Reddit. Got an unexpected keyword argument client ID. So let's go back to your code. And let's see where this is. So yeah, this is client ID. Client ID. So what's the issue? Oh, got it. So from praw import Reddit as praw Reddit, and then this is praw Reddit. Okay. So now error with request, invalid return character or leading space in header user agent. So user agent cannot be blank. This is weird. Okay, so let's see this. Received 401. So we got a 401 from Reddit.
No user agent. Reddit won't let you use their API without logging in.
So I guess you do need the credentials.
Yeah, you do. I provided them in the Skype call.
Okay. So let's create vim.env here. And what I'm going to do off the screen is copy this into the environment variables. Okay, so cd open source and cd Reddit wallpaper vim env. And let's
I'll be right
paste
back.
that in. Sure. I see that we have a more reference here. First version, so app URI. Well, I don't see it. Refresh, no. Okay, so app ID and app secret, and I have that now in the .env. So what I'm gonna do now is source.env and then Python again, and we
Ooh,
get a submission.
why do we get a? Is that like a submission ID?
Yeah.
That's a. Okay. Okay, so it's working. Awesome.
Yeah. So
Imgers,
sorry.
Imgers like Reddit, the URLs have those IDs.
Yeah, but we can barely hear you now.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's like,
So do the just like the Imgur URLs. Reddit also has those IDs at the top of the URL.
That's cool. So now we get a submission. So what do you do here with the sub? Oh, so you also do the URL here. So first here in main.py, and I think you can also see how much cleaner now this implementation is. But we'll as we work with it, you'll see more. Okay, so I see this is like the submission. Oh, and you say that sometimes you get Reddit here, and sometimes you get Imgur. Yeah, there it is.
Every once in a while you get the Reddit URL.
Yeah. So let's see. I hope it's not.
Sometimes you also get the Imgur URL, but it doesn't have the .jpg extension.
Okay.
I need to process that.
Got it. Okay. So cool. So from this point on, let's see what we have here. So let's go here and have the first version here. So you're gonna parse the submission.
Yeah, because I don't think it comes back as a normal string.
And you're gonna say if URL doesn't have JPG and doesn't have gallery or /a.
Can you explain?
Okay, so this has already been downloaded.
No, not yet. On the else, it's where it downloads.
Yeah. I see here it's already downloaded, and here it's downloading.
Oh yeah, I have a little just a small. While I was working on it, I made a little text page small database. It appends URLs to it, and it checks it. And if it's in there already, then it will skip that URL. It'll restart the program, the script.
That's cool. Okay, so what we need to do now is we need to implement this logic, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let's see what we have here.
I gotta go to sleep soon.
Okay, you want to do like 10 more minutes and then we can finish it off?
Yeah,
because
20 minutes. 12:30 for me.
Okay, because I think, you get the idea of how to improve it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
I still need a little bit more clarification, but that can be done another time.
Sure. So, you know what? Let's do that clarification and not implement this logic. Okay? So,
Yeah, I mean, after you clarify, I think I get the gist of doing the rest and implementing everything else.
Yeah, sure. That's all right.
Basically, the rest of the whole script is going to be implemented into the start download define, right? Where it says start download. That's basically where the rest is.
No, that's exactly not what's happened. So, in terms of let's have a readme.md here. So a high-level architecture. So readme.md here. A high-level architecture is that a CLI is exactly like controller and model. So the CLI command, which is what you see here, is the controller. Which means it is responsible for responsible No, that's not how you spell it. So responsible for getting input from the client, which basically means from the CLI, from the command line, and pass that input into other classes or logic components.
All
So
right.
for example, if you need a Reddit client ID and a Reddit secret, then you will get them in the CLI and you will pass them into um, what you need them, So this
So that
class,
download it. It's only going to be used for those two things.
yeah. So well, not exactly. So here you will also have you might have an imager here, you know what I mean? So you might have imager like client here, you know what I mean? So client here,
Oh yeah. That
and
too.
then do the rest of the things, and then what you will have is a downloader, and then in the downloader you will pass the Reddit client and the imager client, and then you will have like a downloader dot download, and then like sleep. I don't
Fine.
know. You know what I mean?
Those-
So while true here.
And then the download will be defined somewhere else.
Exactly. So the downloader is a different file, and the download is part of the downloader class, which accepts a Reddit and an imager. The idea behind doing that is that you can have smaller classes that are more testable, and more importantly than testable, they're mockable. So when you test things out, you can just pass in something fake and test like the URLs without like needing to loop into Reddit just until you get one of those like dirty URLs. You can just pass a dirty URL to your test class and see how it deals with it.
So basically, the start download is just the initialization of the script, and the downloader, defining downloader, will be the thing that will actually be running constantly.
Exactly.
All right, that makes sense.
Exactly.
Um,
And the good thing is that now you can write Python tests for pure classes that are completely isolated from getting a client ID from Reddit and getting a client ID from Imager and even like querying them. You know what I mean? So what I do usually is I say, okay, let me see where I can isolate the client. So how far down or how far up, depends on how you look at it, do I isolate and then pass in something fake into my class and have my class just work with a defined interface. You know what I mean? So then you can have classes that are well defined and well encapsulated and are completely separate from the Reddit client itself that needs a client ID and a secret and a user agent. So then you can test your downloader with the image that is dirty, and then with the image that is clean, and then with the image that is the Reddit image, and then with the image that is the Imager image. So then you can kind of develop your classes that way.
can you also explain to me the .env? How does that work?
Oh, so .env is basically what I have. Let's say sample.env here. And what I do is I export x equals to something. You know what I mean? So then I source sample.env. Oops. And then when I echo x is something. You see here?
Uh-huh.
So what this does is basically I can have things that are, and then in my git ignore, I always ignore .env files. So I can save things that are secret, but they're not, pure Python objects, because then, someone needs to create Python object and it's not really scalable. And in the README, what I will say is like, For this program to work, you will need to define these and variables like Reddit app ID and then app secret, right?
Mhm.
Like so, right? And
All right.
then you run the program using main.py like so, you know?
All right. I still need to know a little bit, learn a little bit more about classes. I never really used them
Yeah,
in
that's all right.
Python.
That's all right. I mean,
Um,
classes in Python are like classes in Java, right? They have nothing different other than the syntax, right? So don't get fooled by the syntax. So let's get to reddit.py here, right? So this is a class, right? And what happens here? So this is I don't know, Reddit base.
so the classes holds a whole bunch of methods.
Yeah. So this one underscore underscore init underscore underscore is the constructor.
Hmm.
And then anything that you want as an instance method needs to accept self as a parameter. And so when you say self dot like this subreddit, it's like having a private string subreddit. You know what I mean?
Thanks. That makes way more sense.
Exactly. And then so here's the deal. So Python, Java. Okay. So Python is Reddit equals Reddit. So X, Y, and Z.
So
And
just
Java will
doing
be
self
Reddit
basically
Reddit
to be private.
equals new Reddit X, Y, and Z. Okay.
Doing the self parameter that makes it private.
Well, it doesn't make it private because there is no pure private in Python as much as there is in Java. It's the underscore is the convention of saying this is only being used by this class.
Okay, and what is the self doing? Can you explain self for me a little bit more?
So self is just a way to assign things on that class. So when you have a private, like in Java, you have a private string x, then what you do is x equals y. I don't know, like x equals like something, or you would do this dot x, right? So
Mhm.
self is this.
Oh, okay.
Okay, self is this. Underscore is just
So
a
let's the
convention to
class as
have.
being
So,
the class being the constructor, it can allow for that variable to constantly change.
so,
But
so yeah. So this is the constructor. Underscore underscore init underscore underscore. I know it's weird. Trust me. The first time I've seen it, it's been weird too. And self is basically this. So in order for this to be available for Python, you need to pass it through, right?
alright.
But when you instantiate the first self, you don't need to pass it. So basically, when you instantiate, only the first comma is being ignored.
All right.
So when you instantiate, you need 3 parameters for this um, constructor.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
So
if you
without if you were to put the self on that thing, you wouldn't be able to write it again somewhere else
yeah, exactly.
and give it parameters of app
Exactly.
ID, app secret, and app subreddit.
Exactly.
Okay. I understand.
Exactly. One more thing that I would again change from your first version, and I think now you can look at this code and then look at this code and see how much more sense it makes and how much easier it is to debug. Um, so someone is asking on Twitch, isn't new the constructor? What? So underscore underscore new? No. So they basically, yeah, okay, got it. So yeah, I got confused there for a minute. They basically complement each other. You can read more on that. But in order to not confuse you, what is new and init in Python, this is controlling the initialization of the class. And then, all right. So now what I'm saying is you can take this and then here, so like submission, get random submission, for example, and then you can say downloader, and downloader, and then pass in the submission dot URL, and then in the downloader, you would use
I'd
that.
have dot self.
Sorry.
In the downloader thing, would it be the dot self?
Yeah.
Comma?
You would say like downloader equals downloader, like this. You know what I mean? Like instantiate a new class, and you
But
can
for
pass in.
the downloader actual itself, would I need the self thing?
Well, if you don't need it unless you need to save something that you will need in other methods. You know what I mean? Twitch. Someone is saying, "Hey, you're that dude." I don't really know what that means. I'm a dude, but I know what that dude means. And Stevens is a dude too. Stevens, are you a dude? Stevens is dead. Stevens, are you dead?
Sure, I'm taking a nap. He's taking a
No,
nap.
no, I'm not a dude.
What are you?
He fell asleep for a bit.
All right. So
Well,
Kevin, we're not gonna hold
what are-
you.
What are the options?
Stevens.
If I could stay, I'd love it, but
All right.
What are
So
the-
wait a second. So before we say goodbye, wow, so clutch. You did see me on YouTube, man. Dude, what the hell, man? So
streaming
YouTube.
on live coding, YouTube and Twitch.
Yeah, it's like you've seen me on YouTube for sure. This is me, man.
He's
Dude.
that dude. Can you save that code for me or message it to me on Discord?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I can keep working on
I will. I will zip it and I will send it to you, man. Since
Alright,
you
well-
are in the East Coast, we will say good night, man.
Unfortunately. All right, you guys take care. Good night, everyone.
Good night, and let's talk on Twitch on Discord tomorrow.
All right, you have a great night.
All
Bye
right,
bye.
I hope that helped.
Yeah, that did. Believe me, it
All right.
did.
All right, bruh. See ya.
Good night.
All right, good night.
Bye.
Okay. So
All right.
now Kevin is gone. On good news, man, my new computer is dealing with Skype and OBS like a mother.
Not even complaining, huh?
Dude, not even like one fan, and my CPU is like at 2%.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. I told you this iMac is the shit.
Yeah.
Is it iMac?
Yeah.
It's iMac, right?
This is-
Yeah, iMac is the shit. It's not only the hardware; it's a combination of the hardware and the
Do you
software.
see that?
No regret in this purchase.
Here, I can show you the chat. What?
What do you mean?
What? All right. This is it's too late.
What do you mean?
No, it doesn't matter.
What are you talking about?
No, you're not looking at Twitch. That's why you don't understand.
No, I'm looking at Twitch right now. I don't get it.
No, but that doesn't matter. Okay. So people in the chat room, is PC still here? Where is PC? Chicken. Okay. So first of all, people in the chat room, since this became a feedback-driven stream, do you have code that you want reviewed or feedback? I'm talking to people on Live EDU that is extremely quiet today. Hey, Live EDU guys. Extremely quiet today. And I'm looking at people on Twitch. Since this became a feedback loop stream. Acidic Mushroom, I'm also talking to you. You probably have a lot of code. Do you guys have any code that you want to look at? So Acidic Mushrooms, you're saying, yes, look at my code. Post a link to the GitHub, man. Is it the SoundCloud thing? Twitch party. Yeah, man. Twitch party for the Twitch party today. Yes, the SoundCloud thing. Yeah, post it. Let's look at it. It's on Discord. I know it's on Discord, man. Post it to the chat so other people can see it too. Okay, so there it is. And Acidic Mushrooms, you still need to post it on the Twitch. Yeah. All right, man. Good job, brah. Okay, so Acidic Mushrooms is asking for feedback on this project. So let's give him feedback on this project. And git. Right. So this project. So refactoring, teaching on Twitch. And git init. Okay, so vim.git ignore. You're implementing the API right now. Cool. Okay, so let's remove this and let's go back to open source. Stevens, are you with me today?
I'm with you. Yeah.
Why are you so quiet today? It freaks me out.
Oh, because I didn't have dinner. I didn't eat anything all day.
Dude, I inhaled a bunch of food when I got home.
Dude, I got home at like 7:30, so I didn't like eat any food.
This is what I did to get home.
I'm surviving on my fat reserve right now. You know.
This is what I did to get home. Look.
What? Look where?
Here.
Rich?
This is my ride back home.
Facebook?
I did 34 miles.
What? Why did you do? Why did you do that, man? It's like 20-mile ride. Why did you turn it into a 34-mile ride?
I did a. Wait, someone is saying. Roddy, dude, Roddy is on Twitch. Rodrigo.
Oh really?
Yeah, Rodrigo is. Okay, so let's
Hey Rodrigo. donate some bits.
Let's move forward. Okay, so server. Okay, so Acidic Mushroom, do you want to jump on the voice channel on Discord and explain what this project does? Because I think it's going to be a bit difficult to give feedback without, like a 2-minute explanation from you into what this project does. So I'm waiting for kind of your response. Oh, you don't have a mic. So can you write on the Twitch socialable for SoundCloud?
It's Social Blade, not
Social
socialable.
Blade.
Social Blade.
Social Blade. Shows you how good my English is. Okay, so Social Blade for SoundCloud. So I'm not a social media consultant, so let's see what Social Blade is. And let's remove my Strava. Okay, Social Blade, analytics made easy. Okay, blah, blah, blah. A lot of like marketing. I don't know what this is. Let's say Twitch. Social. Oh, got it. Let's see. Kenso Dev. Let's look how popular my stream is on Twitch. Oh wow! Look, I'm D plus. I'm
Really?
ranked 1,490,000. Okay. Okay. This
Well,
doesn't.
how is it? How do they rank? Wow,
All
this
right.
is cool.
So I am D plus, and now I have something else to worry about. Look at this, crazy. Oh, look at this hockey stick growth, dude. I can get an investment in Silicon Valley. Look at this. Look, this is
Okay,
hockey
what?
stick growth.
No. Wait. What are you looking at?
Okay, so
Oh,
so you want to create a social blade for Twitch. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the code. Um, better than F. Someone is saying Oh, Roddy is saying that it's better than F. Is there an F? I don't even know if there's an F. I mean,
you
there
have the lowest. Oh well, better
could
than D
be.
minus. I guess there's a D
There's a
minus.
D minus. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's better than D minus, but there is no F. I think F is not having a channel. Okay, so we need. So let's look at the routes here. So we have process is not test app dot use logger env. So logger, what is logger? Logger is Morgan. And then do you config the logger? No. Okay. Okay. This is weird. I mean, immediately when I see if process.env.nodenv is not test, then this is something fishy here. So Empress Leaf on Twitch is saying, I don't think there is. I also got a D plus, and I've barely done anything streaming. So yeah, this is discouraging. This is discouraging. This is very discouraging. This like I'm sad, and
You're at the lowest.
I consider stopping the stream here and never streaming again. All right. So I understand why this is here, because you don't want to do the console.log. What I'm saying is, what I would do is something different. So first of all, I created globality nodule config. So globality corp and nodule config. So what nodule config is you're able to kind of configure your app using environment variables, and you get this nice like object representation of your environment variables. And there is also nodule logging, and nodule logging is a scalable logging middleware, so to speak. And what it will do is it will exactly do that. It will not use console, and it will not log anything if you're in test. The problem with that approach is that it fills your code pretty fast. And eventually what you will find out is that if you deploy to an env called test, you are in for a world of hurt. A world of hurt. So never ever do this. Because I will tell you something, just as an example. We have test, which is Circle CI. And we have test, which is AWS. Okay? And what we found is that we had like one of this process.env.node.env equals test, and then what we did is something like skip validation or like something like that, because we didn't want to verify validation in Circle CI, suddenly like tests started breaking, and it took one of the engineers like 2 or 3 hours to find out that this is the line that kind of made that change. So I have an allergy to seeing that in code. So I will definitely get rid of those and have a more scalable like logging middleware that will respect whether you're on Circle CI and whether you're on an environment called test. So can you give me feedback on my config folder then? And of course, so let's look at config. And I can see config index, which will export Elasticsearch Server and SoundCloud. So first of all, I like this. I like this a lot. And let's look at the config. So Elasticsearch address is localhost port. So again, no. No. Again, look at this here, and this is what I would do. What this allows you to do, nodule config actually here. So nodule config. What this allows you to do is have configs that are driven by your environment variables. What currently your situation is that you have a very verbose, well, it's not very verbose, but it's terse kind of config. So you have an address and a port and a suffix, which is a node env, an index, which is a suffix, and so on and so forth. And again, if you use something like nodule config, and again, I'm not trying to, make any self-promotion here. There are multiple solutions for that. But what you will find is that it simplifies a lot of your configuration. Let's see something here that I want to show. I want to show something. Okay, so when I introduced nodule config, when I introduced nodule into one of our app, I created a PR, and I'm looking at that PR on the right screen right now. And that PR is minus 871 lines and plus 267 lines. So we got rid of like 500 and something lines that are literally config, literally like things like that, that they're now convention over configuration. And it's much easier. It's much easier, and then any developer can have like a .env, and then you store all your configuration. You can have a .env.example, and you can have a .env.production, .env. Something else, right? And then for production, you have secrets. So something else, like a secret generation, is generating that .env. So then you basically refactor all of it. But it's not only that you refactor it into a .env, but that you don't write code just to write code. So your everything here will not be needed anymore once you implement nodule config or any sort of config. You will basically have like let's say an SD Elasticsearch address, and then the same thing, you will have a host. And what this will do is it will say, this is your config, right? So ES, and then ES will have a host, and it will have an address, and so on and so forth. So then all of this, if you can understand it, is gone. You don't need it. So just by providing this, you have that. Okay? So this is one. Server.js, again, blah, again, here, and then SoundCloud. So SoundCloud required .env. So again, required .env is a huge bad practice here. Well, huge. Come on, let's be serious. I would say it's bad practice. And again, you can convert it to a better config. and then the client ID and the secret are also going to be there. All right. So this is the config. I think your config is good. I mean, in terms of the structure of it, but I think the problem is that it's not scalable to, when you pass. So Roddy Suarez is following. Oh my God. Someone is following on Twitch. Roddy Suarez is following on Twitch. So what happens is that when you pass things through your environment, so when you pass from test to dev to production to staging or to whatever environments you have, then what you will see is that you will need to go back and change your assumptions. And if your assumptions are scalable from the get-go, then you can have a Docker container, and that Docker container will simply accept environment variables, and that's about it. All right, so let's continue here. So we have an index. So I really, really like your use of an index and then others. So like here, the config has an index which uses other things. I really, really like that. It's a really nice way to just like have require for one thing, and then that one thing manages its internal dependencies. I really like that. This will make you, change directory structure without changing the entire world in terms of requirements. Requirements, I mean like require or imports. So API again, index. I really like this. As much as this seems like jarhead code, I really, really like this. So users is express. User is controller is user. And then you do a router, so router, and then express router. Okay, so this is for, I don't know, what I would do is I would pass app here, and then I would export a function. So I would not require express here. I would not export the router. What I would do is I would say, I would export default function, I don't know, something like users, and this would accept an app, like so. And then here, you would simply add that. And then you would remove this. So then in your router, or here, so routes, so routes and then an index, routes and then an index. So again here, routes, so app.use routes. So I would use, so I might change it. So routes like app. Just to not require the express in that, and also be able to fake that in testing. But I'm not sure about that 100%. I mean, I'm good with that. It's just for me, I would live with this and not with that. You know what I mean? So this looks nice to me, and this looks bad to me. Like requiring express here and requiring the router will just like, if you think about what this does in terms of once this code compiles and you understand you're having many more variables to deal with in your JavaScript. So first, this will make your JavaScript longer, and second, it will make it more brittle. And what this will do is it will work with the same reference, will work with the same object, and not create any other new variables. You will basically have one app, and you're just passing it through and through and through. So this is one other thing that I would change. Util parser, extract user ID from profile page. Like this a lot. And this is cool. And then let's see, Elasticsearch. So what do? You require Elasticsearch with config, host and log with config.elasticsearch. Elasticsearch client is the client with the host and the log. Okay, so then SoundCloud. So this is where seems like your things are. Well, first question that would come to mind here is why did you choose Elasticsearch versus like other solutions? This is really interesting because it seems like you're using Elasticsearch as a database here and not as an index. So auto-completion. So the question that comes to mind for me, and again, this is a pet project, and I know I'm sometimes I bring my architect and my experience with working on big scale products, and I apply them to too many places. So I would be very hesitant to use Postgres as a database like this. What I would normally do, and again, I'm looking for your input, and again, auto completion, partial matching, of course. I mean, this is where Elasticsearch and Solar are very strong. But my question is, why not use a database for the long-term searches, for the long-term storage, and use Elasticsearch for the indexing? Because what you normally do is you store everything in a database, like a real database, like Postgres, and you use Elasticsearch as somewhat of a proxy to that database. So you use that as a search index to your database, and not store things in Elasticsearch that way. Because two things that can happen here. One is that you will, and again, this is me babbering because I don't know a lot about this product, and it might not really be relevant to this product, right? But what I'm saying is that there is eventual consistency to consider. There is data integrity to consider, backups, and so on and so forth. And again, for this pet project and for this like MVP, it might be fine. I mean, I don't know, but I would be very hesitant to use that solution that in a way that is as a database. That's what I guess I'm trying to say. So that would be my first like initial hunch, to store everything in Postgres and then have it here. So let's see. So fetch profile by user ID. We have API, SoundCloud, users, user ID, client ID. So response is axios.get, and you say profile not found, and you return response.data. So let's see where you use this. Fetch user. So you use that in test right now. So first of all, I like this, the fact that you have test. Fetch user by profile. So response.data. So you essentially use just a JavaScript object here. Yeah, I get it. The response.data is response body. I get that this is the response body. This is not why I'm like sort of thinking here. What I'm saying is that you work with a loosely defined object here. What I would do is I would cast this to a user model and pass in response data this way. So then I always work with a well-defined user model, and I would cast response.data into that user model. So for example, if you have, I don't know, a username, so I would say user.username equals to response.data.username. You know what I mean? And so on and so forth. So I would definitely work with a more well-defined data structure and not response data. Because if you say fetch user profile page by user ID, oh, this is actually just returning the page. Okay, this is the page. This is the fetch user profile. Yeah, again, same thing here. I'm sorry. So user here, I would return a user. And then if not, then you return a 404. Okay, so I mean, other than that, I mean the feedback on the config and the feedback on the routes, I think this code is pretty good. You know, you use async await in the right way. I don't see any problem with that. I like your code organization. I like the fact that you have tests. I did not look into the tests to see if they're good tests. There are certainly places where there are bad tests. I'm not saying in your project, but there are certainly, you know, places where I've seen bad tests. I saw you use mock and I saw you use assertions and before. And so your tests seem good. Everything you've done here looks good. There's really nothing crazy. It's just that for me, I always have that feeling that, you know, this project is small, but then I always have that feeling it's like right on that edge of becoming big, and that edge scares me. So I become defensive, and again I bring the architect inside me, and I say you need to work with well-defined objects, so you need to work with models, and you need to fill your models with the response data, which is a JSON or whatever the response body is. Your configuration object needs to scale in a way that they need to change between environments and not break environments. You never say if environment equals something and then wrap this function in something else. You need to drive your conditions by the configs. And your configs need to load middleware that will behave in the same way, which means it has an interface, and the external thing that uses that interface is always the same. But again, other than that, you know, if I code reviewed you now, you would submit a PR for me, and I would code review that. Those would be my comments. And you know, there's really, this code is good. Really nothing that I would say, oh, this is bad, or this is a you know, bad practice or anything like that. I do think what I would do is translate this quote unquote to ES6. You know, instead of this, so const client ID, you know, import. I would say, you know, this is import, you know, from like this. I don't know, and again wrap all of these. So, you know, test, and then this would be async. So, you know, small things like that. Nothing that is too crazy. But this code is good. Your config layer definitely needs a lot of work, but other than that, everything looks very good. So good job, acidic mushrooms. All right, so we are like an hour and 45 minutes into it, and that usually is the point where Steven's brain gets melted.
It's all right. Dude, you know what?
Yeah.
I was thinking, you know, while you were talking, I was
Was I
thinking.
talking?
Yeah. While you were
Was
like.
I talking? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, go ahead. What were you thinking?
So I was thinking, you know, since we're doing streaming here, right? And then you see, like, today we have like 2 viewers that, you know, that basically posted like sample code up for review, right? And I'm thinking one project that we can do on the stream, this would be a good idea. Well, I think it could be an idea that we can do on the stream is we can build. Remember, you had this subreddit earlier today. Say, hey, like, what do you guys want to work on tonight, right? Like, I responded to that. But we can build this, and as a project to stream, can build a small site where people can, post a gist of things they want to be reviewed, and the other viewers, they can vote on it. And then we can have a date, right? Like, hey, it's almost like a scheduler kind of thing. Like, okay, so if you want to participate in the stream today, and then, okay, so let's say, today this is available. We plan to stream today. So put your, review project, whatever, just a simple gist, right, onto that calendar and let people vote on it. And then on that stream, we can do the thing that get voted the most on. Like a small site. That would be something, maybe that will help the community, right? Then you know what I'm getting to? Like, it's a tool for people to keep track, and then people can go to the site and people can have potential idea, okay, what's going to happen on the stream today, and people can have input on what's going to happen on the stream, right? It just makes the community more sticky, and it's a place for people to voice their opinion of what they want to see on the stream, right? That's one thing we can do, like because just from what I'm seeing today and yesterday, I'm seeing a little bit pattern there, and since we're just free, we're free to do whatever we want. That might be one of the tools we can do to help the community, to help the viewers, right? Don't you think so? Like you can be just like a small gist, like post your gist here. If it's not code, post a code here. If it's not a code, if it's just an idea or you have a question, explain your question in the gist. Right, and then we can like talk about that, and people can vote on it. That can be one thing we can do for this purpose. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's a good idea.
Right?
I definitely think it's a good idea. And I think it's a very nice little project that we can do. We'll put it on to a vote on Discord and see what people think.
Yeah. If this way, what we work on, one, people will be able to learn from the process of building that. Two, people will be able to actually use it, right? It actually benefits the people that participate in the stream, right? And then, if people want more features, then we can add on it. Hey, it's like it doesn't hurt, right? It's a mutually beneficial kind of thing. And then it also give us like common thing to talk about, right? And people talk, oh yeah, this and that. I don't know. It's that's what I was thinking. So this might be a potential thing we can work on in the future streams.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely a good idea. We'll put it to a vote on Discord and see what people think. I think it's 10 p.m. So I definitely think it's getting late here. Let's end tonight here, and we will see everyone again tomorrow. All right? Thank you, everybody, for being here, and see you tomorrow.